All right, so today we're diving into what is basically a cyber detective story. It's a fascinating and, frankly, pretty scary tale about a powerful digital weapon that jumps from government spies to street level criminals. And the whole thing revolves around that device that's probably in your pocket right now.
It really makes you stop and ask, right? How secure is your iPhone? I mean, we trust these things with everything, our private conversations, our photos, our bank accounts. But what if that trust is being seriously misplaced?
Well, it turns out that trust is being put to the test in a major way. Researchers at Google and the security firm iVerify are sounding the alarm about a brand new threat, one that is incredibly sophisticated, surprisingly widespread, and has a very, very mysterious origin story.
And this threat, it has a name. They're calling it Coruna. And it's not just some simple virus, oh no. It's a full-blown exploit kit, a whole bundle of malicious tools designed specifically to break into iPhones. And it's one of the most comprehensive ones ever seen out in the wild. And when I say this thing has reach, I mean just look at this. The scope is, honestly, it's staggering. Google's threat intelligence group found that Corunexka could hit a massive range of devices. We're talking everything from iOS 13 all the way up to iOS 17.2.1. That means years and years of iPhones were vulnerable to this one single toolkit.
Okay, so a tool this big, how did anyone even find it? Well, it wasn't easy. Researchers didn't just trip over it. They had to follow this shadowy trail as the weapon spread across the globe, changing hands between some very different and very dangerous groups. And what a trail it was. It all kicks off in early 2025. At first, it's being used in a super targeted way, most likely by a government that bought it from a spyware company. But by summer, boom, it's been repurposed by suspected Russian spies for attacks on Ukrainian websites. And then, by the end of the year, the whole shebang, the entire kit, gets captured after Chinese cybercriminals used it for a massive campaign. It's just a terrifying example of how fast these digital weapons can proliferate. So what is it about this Corona kit that has everyone so spooked? What's under the hood that makes it so powerful? Let's peel back the layers and take a look. Get this, 23 separate exploits all bundled into this one kit. We're not talking about one single hack here. This is 5 complete end-to-end attack chains. It's literally a Swiss Army knife for breaking into iPhones. And once it's in your phone, its mission is crystal clear. This thing isn't just about spying. It's a high-tech thief. It actively hunts for your financial information. It scans through your photos looking for QR codes to steal from. And it even digs through your notes, searching for crypto-related keywords like backup phrase. It's laser-focused on stealing money, plain and simple. You can really see the level of professional-grade work here, even in the little details. I mean, the components have their own internal code names, stuff like cassowary and sparrow. And the whole thing is documented, like meticulously, in native English. This is not the work of some script kiddies in a basement. This is a professionally engineered weapon. And that's the thing, right? This level of polish, this professional quality, it leads to the biggest, most shocking question of all. Where in the world did Coruna come from? Because the evidence, well, it points in a very, very concerning direction. A security firm called iVerify put out a bombshell assessment. They said that this wasn't just built by some random spyware company. They believe Coruna has all the hallmarks of a framework developed by threat actors affiliated with the US government. Let that sink in. And they're not just guessing here. The clues are literally baked right into the code. Researchers are calling it superb and elegantly written. But here's the kicker, the code comments. They're written by native English speakers and contain, as one researcher put it, insider jokes that feel like they're straight out of the US defense industry. So you put all that together, a super sophisticated tool that might have government origins now loose in the wild, and it's no surprise security experts are making a really chilling comparison. They're calling this a potential EternalBlue moment for the iPhone. Now, if that name EternalBlue rings a bell, but you can't quite place it, here's a quick refresher. It was this incredibly powerful exploit built by the NSA. Back in 2017, it got stolen and leaked, and what happened next? Criminals grabbed it and unleashed the WannaCry and NotPetya ransomware attacks that caused absolute chaos worldwide. You see the parallel here, right? It's downright terrifying. You have a powerful tool, probably built by a nation-state, that escapes into the wild, and then criminals pick it up and turn it against everyday people for financial gain. It's the exact same pattern, but this time, the target is the phone in your hand. And here's the bottom line.
This is a huge deal because it's the first time we've ever seen a nation-state-grade weapon being used on a massive scale by common criminals just to hack iPhones and steal money. The line between government cyber warfare and your average scammer is just dissolving.
Okay, that was all pretty heavy stuff. So the big question is, what can you do about it? Well, the good news is the defense is actually pretty straightforward. First, and this is the most important one, update your iPhone. Seriously. The latest versions of iOS are patched against these exploits. Second, restart your phone every day. I know it sounds too simple, but it works. A lot of this advanced spyware can survive a reboot. And finally, if for some reason you can't update right away, turn on lockdown mode. It'll give you an extra layer of much-needed security.
You know, this whole saga leaves us with one really heavy, unanswered question. When these digital superweapons, built by governments, leak out and fall into the hands of criminals, creating victims all over the globe, who's on the hook for the damage? Who's ultimately responsible for the fallout? It's definitely something to think about.